7, here I am back with a couple of examples of using Pythagoras' theorem again to show you some of the different ways that it works. Firstly, I have a triangle up here. You see this time it's sort of upside down to how we might normally draw a right angled triangle, but the important thing is, first of all, I have to identify which of those sides is the hypotenuse. I look for the right angle, I come across from the right angle, that's the longest side of the triangle, that's going to be my hypotenuse. Okay, that's the one, if I like, I can put these labels on it that I'm going to call C. The other two legs, the shorter sides, are going to be called A and B. Next step is I write down my formula. So either I can write A squared plus B squared equals C squared, or I've changed it around so I've got C squared equals A squared plus B squared. It's the same thing. My next step is to replace A and B with their values from the diagram. So in this case, A was 52, B was 84. I write that in. 52 squared plus 84 squared. Next step is I do the calculation. So I had to get my calculator out, and I worked out what 52 squared was and 84 squared, and then I added them together. It was 9,760. So I'm not finished yet. The next thing I have to do, I need to remember this is the square of the hypotenuse. So to actually find the length of the hypotenuse, I need to take the square root. So grab my calculator, type square root button, type 9,760, and it'll give me the answer. To one decimal place, it's 98.8. Okay, so always then have a look back on your diagram and make sure this is a reasonable number. Okay, often people stop when they get to here and forget that this number, 9,760, that's far too big for a triangle that's got sides of 52 and 84. So make sure you finish the question off. Okay, another quick example from a real life sort of scenario. So I've got a ladder against a wall. The foot is 1.2 meters from the wall and it goes 4.5 meters up. I want to know how long is the ladder. Okay, I draw my triangle. The right angle is formed by the wall and the ground. Okay, I identify where the hypotenuse is. In this case, the hypotenuse is the length of the ladder. So I can call that C. The other two shorter sides of my triangle are called A and B. Write down my formula. C squared equals A squared plus B squared. Next step, replace A and B with the lengths from my triangle. So in this case, 1.2 squared plus 4.5 squared. Get my calculator and work that out. It gives me 21.69. So the last step now to actually find the side of my triangle, in this case the hypotenuse, is I take the square root of 21.69 and it gives me 4.7 meters. Okay, and that seems about right. If it reaches 4.5 meters up the wall, I'd need a ladder that was a bit longer than that to make it. Okay, the next video is going to cover how do we find one of the shorter sides of our triangle rather than just finding the hypotenuse.